Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wish's weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I've got this great collection of 3 different stamp cutting die combo packs from our friends at Apple Blossom. These are the Slimline die stamp combos, and they make these great slimline cards that have this great cutaway edge, embossing, and also these great stamps. I can't wait to show you what my friend Debbie and I made with them, so come play with us. So let me introduce each one of these sets to you. This is the Flutterby stamp set, and it comes with the Flutterby die cutting set. And they actually come in a package like this, and then they are sort of bound together with this wraparound piece. So they come, each set comes with everything you see right here, okay? And the cutting die set has 7 pieces, and the stamp set has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stamps to it. Let's look at this one. This is the Slimline Sunshine stamp yet. It's got beautiful sunflowers. This one has 6 pieces to the die cut set, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stamps. And once again, it comes sort of stuck together like that. And then this is the Time for Tea stamp set. This has 7 pieces and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stamps. And let's get right to this first card Debbie made. And of course she used the beautiful little Time for Tea stamp set. And he started out like covering her card with the gingham paper pack number 2, used the beautiful little pink gingham right there. And then she used a variety of pastel stamps. You can look in the gallery below the video at paperwishes.com and find all the stamps that she used, and they're also in the drop-down list below the video. So what she did with this was she took the die, first this die, to make this slimline card. Show you the inside, isn't that adorable? So this die makes this piece right here. Now, all of the smaller pieces, of course, fit in any standard die cutting machine with a 6-inch wide platform or even less. But this piece is 6.5 inches wide. So this piece requires that you use a larger format machine like the Big Shot Plus or the Gemini, which has a 9-inch platform. You would just slide it through this way. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you my trick for making this work if you have a 6-inch wide platform like I do at home. So I'll tell you a little story about that in a minute. So anyway, you go ahead and you die cut this piece, okay, with your cardstock. That's going to be your base. And for this, then Debbie covered her cardstock with the paper and then die cut it so that it would be perfectly aligned. Okay, and then used this piece right here with white cardstock. Now it has embossed areas on it. Anything that's cut away is going to emboss on your cardstock, but you're going to need to help it a little bit. We found by shimming that a lot. We found that the self-healing cutting deck by iCrafter, it's a die cutting pad. It is great for embossing. We use this on all of them and it worked brilliantly. So I really encourage this to anybody who has a die cutting machine. I love mine. Here's a little trick though. When you're running it through your die cutting machine, just like your die cut plates, you should, after you're done running it through one way, when you're going to run it through again, turn this over and run it through again so that you're not getting a big bow. Okay, so that with this one, because it's kind of a more flexible plastic than the cutting plates that our machines come with, this is really important that you turn it every time. It'll last longer if you do that. Okay, so then you've got all these other cute little pieces, and these little pieces, you can either stamp it first and then die cut that and emboss it at the same time, which I recommend, okay? Or you could die cut this from your white cardstock and then align that with your stamping platform and stamp it. It's a little trickier to do that way, but just experiment and see which one that you like the best. So as you can see, so cute on the front, and then I love what she did on the inside there. This is die cut pieces, these die cut swirls right here. And her little teacup, so cute, love it. All right, so let's show you the next set. All right, this next one is the Flutterby. For this one, I used suede paper for my butterflies right here. And if you've never used suede paper before, it's wonderful stuff. It's actually a fabric backed with paper. This one, the manufacturer calls this one mauve when it is clearly lavender. We don't know why, but that's the label that it has on it right here. It says mauve suede paper. But we've all voted and said that it is lavender. And so when you find it at Paper Wish's website, it'll be listed as mauve, parentheses, lavender. The one thing that is so great about this is that you can really see how well it embosses on the suede paper. This is just running it through with the cutting die on the suede. I used the mat and it just went through and embossed this beautifully. So all those little darker areas on there, that's the embossed part. Just brilliant. In fact, I don't even think that you would need to use the stamp on this. This is how this looks without the stamp. Just gonna line this up here. I just think it still looks, you know, beautiful without the stamping. And then you have it with the stamped image. And I just used black ink on that because I used black here on my greeting. I'm going to show you the rest of these dies that come with this. Whoop. Here is the background die for your card, right there. And then you've got all these little pieces, your swirls, your greeting, a little mat for the greeting right here. And then on the inside, oh, and I should mention, I used Secret Garden paper pack. I used this pink right here. And then the coordinating cardstock, I used the pink here. And this is our first paper pack that has double-sided color on our cardstock. Oop. So when you open the card, it is pink as well. So the inside here, I stamped my happy birthday, I've got my swirls, and I've got my little butterfly up here. Okay. Oh, and I should also mention, right here I used colorful thin line dazzle stickers, and I used that in purple, just right there for that one. Give it a little edge of sparkle. All right. Next one. For the next one, I'm going to use that really cute. This is the Sunshine set. And for this one, I put this all in here so I wouldn't lose my pieces. There we go. All right, so here is the stamped image, and we're going to just build this card sort of from the ground up. Here are all the pieces that come in the die set. So you've got your Slimline card making die. Go. And you've got all of your little die pieces here. Okay, so I went ahead and cut my card from black cardstock. So that's what I wanted my base to be. I'm going to put this on white right now. Whoa, I just had an avalanche. There we go. I'm going to put this on white because my background on my table here is black. It makes it impossible to see. All right, so then the next thing I did was go ahead and stamp on some white cardstock, and then I used some tri-blend markers to do some coloring. So I've got citrus blend, golden brown, light green, and orange blend. And if you're not familiar with how tri-blend markers work, they're just brilliant. They just are a lifesaver. Let me show you the orange one here. It comes with a dark, a medium, and a light pen. So if you started off with the dark orange, and then you went to the mid or the mid-range, it gives you this great ombre effect for blending. I am really challenged when it comes to blending, and these make that so effortless. I love it. So as you can see, it just goes right down through the middle. Perfect for blending, really easy to blend. If you want to go back over it with the lightest blend after you've got it all done, you go all the way up into the dark and it'll just blend that so nicely, and that gradation of color is just great. So for my flowers here, I went ahead and did a little bit of the light orange, just kind of along the base of each one of the sunflower petals, just like that. And then I took the yellow, I wanted the darkest shade, and I just started blending that orange, and then grabbing that orange and then coloring each one of the petals yellow. Okay, just like that, hurrying, so I'm not going to finish that. And then I took the golden brown, which is just one of my favorite pens. I used the darkest color, and I went around the outside edge where all of those little sunflower seeds are. Okay, and I made that real as dark as I could, and then I went to the lightest shade and filled that in, and kind of just went into the darker shade with my light one. And then I just went to the medium. I decided I needed to have a little bit of medium to fill in with those darker pieces right there. And that was my sunflower. You want to zoom in on that a little bit, Steve? So there's my sunflower. There we go. Okay, and so then once I got that all done and colored, I went ahead and lined up, that's upside down, lined up my petals and my flower centers. Now there are leaves on the die that are not on the stamp, and those are going to be embossed. So that's where I go back and I run that through my die cutting machine using the iCrafter mat. And then what I came up with was this piece right here, and the petals I just colored the base of the petal with the light green, the medium color, and then just went out to the edge of the petal with the light green, and they are embossed. I don't think we're going to be able to see those that easily, but they are embossed. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to put my card together, and I used just a little bit of this black gingham. And that is from the Gingham Paper Pack #1. It's got the black there. We're going to go ahead and glue that on. Go. And what I wanted to do is when cutting this piece of black gingham, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't over so far. See, it even has more over here. I didn't want it to be over so far that it interrupted with the edge over here on the right side. All right, so now we're just going to take some glue. This is Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. Debbie and my favorite glue. I'm kind of wondering how everybody else is liking that. So in the comments, let me know if you've taken our advice and tried this glue. What do you think? I just love how it's got the little fine point on it, and it dries quickly and it holds. You just don't have to use very much of it. Okay, so I'm really aligning those edges right there and allowing that to leave a border. Want that to have that border edge. Okay, and now, whoops, I used these two pieces right here of my dies to make my Sending Sunshine piece right there. And I forgot to grab, nope, I do have my foam tape. Thought I missed my foam tape, so I'm going to use some little foam tape squares. Don't need that little glue on there anymore. Just put 2 little squares of foam tape, and I'm going to overlap that. We've got this small little flower right here, and I'm just going to put that right overlapping that. All right, and now I've got a little from a yellow ribbon set. I'm going to put a little yellow ribbon there, and I'm just going to kind of hold that for just a second while we talk about what's going to go on the inside of the card. So I have this flower that I used this cutting die with, all right? but that doesn't have an actual flower to go with it. That's like, it doesn't look just like this. So what I did was, you just take this flower right here, that aligns with that. So you're going to stamp this on white cardstock, color it, and then die cut that, and then you're going to get the stem and the leaves when you die cut it, and then color that green. Okay, I think that's stuck good. Now on the inside, I've got another little strip of gingham paper here, and I just cut a little dovetail at the bottom of that, and I'll show you what that looks like. There you go. Just like that. And then we've got these vertical words right here. Flowers for a friend. So I cut that, stamped that on white cardstock, and then cut it just slightly smaller. Right, and then I'm going to put this flower, I think, yeah, right there. All right, oops, I knew that was going to pop off. Overworked that area. All right, so now, there we go. I've got my little sunflower card ready to go for a friend. Now, here's the trick I wanted to tell you about for if you don't have the 9-inch wide platform for your die cutting machine. You've got a 6-inch wide platform, which is great. That's what I have at home, okay? Here at our studio at the office, we have all the different sizes of machines. But I took these home and worked on them from my studio at home, and I only have a 6-inch wide machine. That's all I generally need. So as you can see, I was like, uh-oh, what am I going to do now? So I had to come back to the office and die cut that. But if you don't have a 6-inch wide and you're not planning on getting the larger platform, what can you do? Okay, a couple of things. You could take this and you could use it as a template and you could trace it, but then you got to cut it out, okay? So what I'm suggesting is a little crazy here, but stick with me. What if you took your wire cutters, right? And you cut off this part right here and right here. Basically the right-hand side is gone, all right? Then you're just left, because this is the card fold part. It doesn't do anything. All right, it holds the die together. So you want to keep the card fold part intact and this edge. Then you could take a slimline card or just a folded piece of white cardstock, and you could put that on there. Remember, this part's gone. Okay, and you could put that on there, make sure that this part is over the fold, run it through your die cutting machine, because now it's only 3.5 inches wide, and you're going to get this. Okay, so I don't know why they didn't do that. You have to cut through 2 layers, but I just shimmed it, and I already had this mat, so I used this mat, and it went through 2 layers like no problem at all. So there's my solution to that. If you are like as in love with this idea as I am, I think it's great. I think it's a great value to get in a bundle, but I couldn't use this die if I was at home. So that's what I would do. I would cut it and I would just disregard this piece. You would keep this intact and this intact, and then you would have a 3-inch wide die that you could easily put through any machine. That's just my suggestion. I hate to tell people to cut up something that you've just bought, but if it means that you can buy it and have fun with it, then by all means, cut away. All right, so you guys, we have got a great money saver on these adorable bundles. So if you're watching us on our Webisode page, you just want to look at Paper Wishes. You just want to look over to the right-hand side to see the money saver. And if you click on that, it'll take you to that page. And below our video, there is a link for our gallery where you can see these cards, full color pictures, as well as supply lists. And below that, you'll see a drop-down list of all the materials that we used, everything, with the exception of these wire cutters, because these are mine from home. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then just look below the video in the description box and you click on the link and it'll take you to the Paper Wishes webisode page and you'll see everything I just described. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up because it helps people find our channel, and consider subscribing because we do 3 to 5 videos a week, and if you're not subscribed, you might miss something. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it.